Okay, hello year one. Now yesterday we were talking, we had a special letter, didn't we, sent to our school from the Mayor of Clifftown, and he was asking us to investigate some strange goings on inside a cave on the beach, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. Before we do that, we've got a few questions to answer. So the first question says, what is an adjective? And that's a big word. You might not be exactly sure what it is, but I'm sure you actually do know what they all are, but you might just not know the meaning of that word. And all that word means is a describing word, and we use them all the time in school. I'm always trying to get you to use describing words in your writing to make things more interesting. So you can describe an object. So you could say, here I have a pen. It is a brown plastic pen. That's two describing words. It's brown and it's plastic. You might say, Xander is a funny boy. He is funny. You might say, for a place, Cyprus is a very hot place. Hot is a describing word. Hope you're enjoying your holiday in Cyprus, Alex. Really joking. The describing word can also be used before the word. So we've got a sentence here. Tim licked his tasty ice cream, and the tasty is in bold because it's the described word. So you could say, Tim's ice cream was tasty, or Tim licked his tasty ice cream, where the describing word is before the thing that you're describing. Or it can be used after. Tim thought his ice cream was tasty, so it can be before the object it's describing or after in your sentence. It doesn't matter. So, adjective detectives. Now it's your turn to find the adjectives in these sentences. So let's look at the first one and see if you can find it, okay? So the first sentence is, the man was old. What is the adjective? What is the describing word in that sentence? Okay. Well done if you found the describing word in that sentence is, the word used to describe the man is, it's going to go in bold, old. He is an old man. It just doesn't say there is a man. It's describing him as an old man. Okay, let's look at the next one. Can I have a red pencil, please? Well, what's being described? The thing that's being described is the pencil. And what's the describing word used to describe the pencil? Well, that word is, hopefully you've noticed it, it's coming up now, red. The pencil is red. He might have said a black pencil, a green pencil, could have been whatever. The huge stripy tiger growled. Well, growled is a doing word, isn't it? We were looking at that the other week. Something you do, so that's not a describing word. Or words. Write them down if you think you might have spotted a describing word or words plural to describe the tiger. The tiger is, let's see them, they're coming up. There are two. Huge and stripy. It's got two describing words. Two is even better than one. Okay, last one. Where is my new green coat? Where is my new green coat? The coat is the thing that's being described. How is the coat being described? How many words or word is there? Is there a word or is there two describing words? Let's look at them. Our describing words are, coming up now, we have new and green. He says it's a new green coat. And you'll notice, we were putting commas in the list yesterday, you'll notice that if they've got two describing words, they put a comma in the middle, look, new, comma, green, huge, comma, stripy. So if you're going to use two describing words, you could put a comma in yours as well. Okay, next one. Okay, deep inside the cave, okay. Today you're going to describe the place, the setting of our story. Now the setting of our Cinderella, Prince Cinder story the other day was in her house, wasn't it? And then the brothers went to the ball, so that was probably in a palace. The setting of our story is in the cave, remember? What's in there? We're going to investigate and we're going to use our senses. We're going to say what we can see, what we can hear, what we can feel, and maybe what we can smell. You have to use your imagination. So you're the cave explorers exploring deep inside Cliff Cave on the beach. First of all, close your eyes and listen to these sounds. So imagine you're in the cave, close your eyes and listen carefully. This is what you might hear. What was that noise? It sounded like dripping water in the cave, didn't it? So we know there's water in there, probably because it's near a beach. Maybe sometimes when the tide comes in, you know, the cave fills up with water, and maybe some of it gets stuck in there in rock pools or something. Okay, maybe there's a hole in the cave and there's some rain dripping through. Okay, could be lots of things. I know it could be it could be very damp in the cave, so that could be where the water comes from as well. Okay, so you can open your eyes, look at the picture. We have a picture of a cave. I'm going to show you some different parts of a cave, and then we're going to try and write some descriptions of the cave. So we have the roof of the cave, nice and easy one. We have a pool, so a pool of water. How would that water feel, do you think? I think if you touch the water in a deep, dark cave, it might feel very cold, freezing. What other describing words could you use to describe that? How could you describe that roof? I can see some pointy things coming down. Does anyone know what they're called already? My guess is that Jasper does, because he seems to know all random facts, okay? Stalactites. Stalactites are these things that form, they're sort of rocks that form in the roof, and they look like spikes, and they're formed when rain or water is dripping, and the salty calcium stuff in the water, it gradually forms like a solid structure, and it just goes down and down for a long time. It takes a long time though to get that. Probably take thousands of years to become like that. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have stalagmites, the same thing, but they're going up. So stalactites and stalagmites. We have rough wall. That's it. It's given us a describing word already. Rough walls. Now, if you touch the wall of a cave before, they're usually rough, and they're usually quite wet as well. Maybe sometimes a bit slimy if there's some moss or something growing there. We have holes in the walls. I wonder if any animals might live in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write my own description of the cave. Now, you might want to fill in this first. It says cave evidence form 53,787. What? That's a big number. Please fill out the following details and return to the head of caving. So it says name. So put your name here because you're one of the cavers. Cave explored, Cave on Cliff Beach. Evidence found, please draw and label. So you might want to draw some pictures of things you find in there. Maybe any animals, maybe any strange objects. Maybe there's something washed up from a pirate ship. Could be anything, even just things in the cave, stalagmites, stalactites. Maybe some things left behind by cavers in the past who have been chased off. Head torches, phones, could be anything. It says, please tick one. Do you think it's an urgent situation that the cave needs to be investigated by a professional? Or is it not urgent? Okay, and I've given you, let me make this a bit smaller. I've given you some words to help you with your ideas for your sentences. So you've got roof, stalactite, stalagmite, you've got holes, shadows. What's forming the shadows? Is it something that's alive? Is there something living in there? Is there anything else living in there apart from this ferocious bear? Dripping water. Is there any other noises in there? Any animal noises maybe? Rough walls, the pool. You can use those. They will give you ideas of things to write about. So I'm going to do mine, and I'll write a couple of sentences about the cave. So let me get up here. So I'm going to write year one. I'm going to write my first sentence. I'm going to start off with something I can see. That's probably the first thing you're going to notice when you come in, isn't it? So I'm going to write nice and tall, capital letter I. I want my other letters to be about half as tall. I can see. Okay. What can I see in that cave? Well, I can see lots of things in the cave, but I'm going to go for stalactites first of all. Those big spiky things hanging from the roof. Now, I'm going to put stalactites here. I'm going to leave myself a little space. I'll rub that out. Because I might actually try and use two describing words. Now, everything you write about, I want you to try and put some describing words either before it or after it. So I'm going to think, stalactites, how would you describe them? Well, they're quite pointy, aren't they? Hanging down. So I'm going to say, I can see pointy. And you know what? I thought of another one. Long. They are. Some of them were very long, so it must have been there for thousands of years. Pointy, comma, long. Making sure my tails and my letters are nice and under the line. Pointy, long, stalactites. And you might say, I don't know how to spell stalactites. Either try and sound it out with your phonics, or go and look in the word man I gave you. So I can see pointy, long stalactites. Stalactite, the split digraph I sound. Now that would be a good sentence, wouldn't it? That would make sense. Got my capital letter. I could put my full stop there. I've got my finger spaces. I've got two describing words. But what I could do to make it even better is be even more detailed. Where are the stalactites hanging from? They're hanging from the roof of the cave, aren't they? Hanging from what can I say about the roof of the cave? How can I describe it? What would the roof feel like? Well, we could use rough because it said cave walls. Does anyone know any other words that mean rough? Words that mean similar? Maybe jagged, ragged. I'm going to say ragged because I like that. From the ragged roof of the cave. Like another split digraph. Cave. Okay, I'm going to put my full stop, okay? And there's lots of other things I can write about that I can see, but I'm going to write a sentence now. I don't want to give you, I don't want to give all the ideas away. I want you to use your own imaginations. You're all very bright. I'm going to write a sentence about what I can hear in the cave, okay? So, let's say, I can hear. What could I hear? Now I said, I played you a sound of something. We could hear dripping water in the cave. So I could say something like, I can hear cold dripping water landing in a rock pool inside the cave or something like that. But maybe we could write about some animals. What animals might live in a cave? I think bats, because I went to a cave once. Where was the cave I went to? In Borneo, in the jungle. I actually went to the jungle, like a bit like David Attenborough. And in the jungle in Borneo, there was thousands, actually I think it might have been actually millions of bats in that cave. So I can hear, what noises do bats make? Bats. Do they squeak? Bats squeaking. I don't even know how to spell squeaking. I'm not sure if that looks right. Bats squeaking loudly in the cave. Okay. What could I touch in the cave? I'll go another one. I can feel. What could you touch? Maybe the rough cave walls. Now, guys, a little challenge I'm going to add on at the end of this, just before I go. You could try and use something in your description that's called a simile, and a simile is when you describe something like something else. So you could say, lots of people have used a simile about me in the past, which doesn't really apply because I had to get my hair all cut off because it was crazy. But my spiky hair, people said it's spiky like a hedgehog, okay? So you could say maybe the stalactites are as jagged as a knife, the bear's roars are as loud as a train, something like that, okay? You could try and put inside. It's where you compare something to something else. That's a little challenge for you if you can try and get one in there. Maybe mums and dads can help you come up with a good one, okay? Thanks. Try and do lots of detail, okay? Try and write 4 or 5 sentences at least, okay? Because you could write maybe a couple of things you can see, a couple of things you can hear, what you can feel, what you can touch. I don't know if you're going to find anything to eat in there. It might be a bit random if you start eating things in the bear's cave, but anyway, let me know. And you can draw your pictures of all the things you might find. So use your imagination. Imagine, have you ever been in a cave? What was it like? Anyway, enjoy. See you later on. Bye-bye.